16, and your power play multiplier is 3. Let's take another look at tonight's winning numbers. Remember, there are multiple ways to win. Good luck. We'll see you back here Saturday night.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, NBC 26 at 11.
DHEC reported a bevy of cases that came over the weekend after an overload of data delayed public health officials from releasing those totals on Monday. Another record-breaking day. On Sunday, more than 22,000 new cases were reported across the Palmetto State.
Record-breaking numbers there. News 12 Celeste Springer looks at DHEC's efforts to give people free at-home testing kits.
We're both vaccinated, but this Omicron doesn't seem to care.
Better be safe than sorry are the words reverberating through DHEC's offices lately. That is, better to have an at-home test and not need it than not have one at all. It's why people like Don Gillis are picking up theirs.
I just want to make sure if I ever do get a sniffle, that I want to make sure what's going on with me. And then I've got my 90-year-old mother that lives on the farm with me. And I want her to be able to take a test.
DHEC's initiative to give out free testing kits is now in full swing.
There just is not enough capacity to do a PCR on every person every time they need to be tested.
It's why you'll be able to find one for free at almost every DHEC main office in South Carolina. They've ordered 2 million of these, with plans to send about 25% of them to schools.
But we are working with school districts right now to provide them with the point-of-care rapid tests, which are administered by a healthcare professional like a nurse.
Important to note, though, that even though our COVID case numbers have skyrocketed, those don't even include the rapid tests people are taking at home. But we're told more important than counting numbers is ensuring people know when they're positive. So it's not a bad idea to keep one of these in the back of the medicine cabinet just in case. Celeste Springer, on your side.
And remember, whether you live in South Carolina or not, you can request a free test kit through the U.S. Postal Service right now. We have a link for that on our website, wrdw.com.
Going to give you a look at the latest numbers of people hospitalized right now with COVID in the area. University Hospital with 146 inpatients, Doctors Hospital with 50 inpatients, and the Charlie Norwood VA Hospital telling us they have 27 people tonight hospitalized with COVID.
If you're looking to get an N95 mask, Kroger grocery stores partnering with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to distribute those N95 masks. All you have to do is stop by the pharmacy at a store in either Georgia or South Carolina, and Kroger expects to get their first shipment as early as tomorrow. It's far from the only store, though. There's a lot of places offering this: Costco, CVS, Walmart, Rite Aid, a lot more locally participating in that program. Taking a look outside to the past.
Anthony, thanks. Almost 10 months after law enforcement reopened the case of a teenager found dead inside a high school gym mat in Valdosta, the sheriff releasing a summary of that investigation. 17-year-old Kenrick Johnson found dead in a gym at Valdosta High School. This is back in 2013. Lowndes County Sheriff Ashley Pauk says he is 100% sure there was no foul play involved. Johnson's death originally ruled an accident back in 2013, but his mother still does not believe that.
There's no way my son would have tried to get up and get in a mat. His shoulders wouldn't go in. First of all, you got to wiggle yourself all the way down to the bottom, and you know you ain't gonna be able to get up. Come on, common sense. You know we gonna always keep Kendrick Johnson first, and we're gonna always keep his legacy alive. The main thing, keeping his momentum going.
Johnson's body was exhumed a number of times as his family questioned that investigation. An autopsy by the GBI 2 days after death, listing the cause of death as asphyxia and an accidental death. A second autopsy listing the cause of death as blunt force trauma to the neck. And then a third performed by the Armed Forces medical examiner there back in 2014, also listing the cause of death as asphyxia, I'm having trouble with that word, and also an accident.
SLED and the Allendale County Coroner's Office are investigating a homicide reported today in the city of Allendale. We're told the body of Jonathan Priester was found in a backyard on Wilson Street. An autopsy is scheduled for Friday morning. This comes as other parts of the CSRA are also experiencing a string of violent crimes like the shooting and carjacking of a 30-year-old pregnant woman in Augusta earlier this week.
U.S. Supreme Court Justice Steve.
It's the light of the party.
3 moms with more than 20 kids between them went to dinner, only for the night to be an experience they will never forget. And as Justina Latimer reports, it's all thanks to a stranger's heartfelt gesture.
My name is Adrian. I'll be taking care of you guys.
Only 2 weeks on the job at Toots, and Adrian was seated with his first big party over the weekend.
oldest kid is like 11 years old. So you, in your mind, you're thinking about, I got a big mess to clean up, I got this and this and this. But unfortunately, it wasn't like that.
This group of moms came in that day with their families. Between the three, they have a total of 25 kids.
One infant, you have two infants.
Yes, so 3 total infants. I guess I have 2 toddlers.
3 total toddlers.
The 3 ladies tell me they've been foster parents for about a year. While they were at the restaurant, a stranger at the bar overheard their story.
She was just so overwhelmed and really moved that, you know, somebody actually stood up to take care of other individuals' responsibilities.
So surprised, the anonymous woman decided to pick up the tab and take care of the entire bill.
It's not often that happens, let alone when you have a party so big and so obnoxious. You know, we took up 3 tables, and 2 of the 3 tables had just kids and kids and kids all over it.
These moms feeling grateful.
They assumed that we were doing good, and they paid that forward. So we definitely, I'm sure, will at some point do that to another family.
And the waiter still amazed.
You know, and then a person taking the time out to do something like that, just from the goodness of their heart, that's amazing.
Wow, those are some strong women, too. 20 amongst the 3 of them. Latimer bumped into the anonymous stranger there at the restaurant. She describes the woman as truly a humble person who just wanted to remain anonymous and do a good thing. A 9-year-old is being credited with saving a family from a house fire. It happened up in Iowa, where officials say the family was sleeping in one of the trailers at a mobile home park early this morning.
Officials say the 9-year-old smelled smoke and woke up the rest of the family. Everyone was able to get out safely, but their trailer was destroyed. But a fast-thinking 9-year-old. Okay, you might have seen these things. Apple's popular air...
Deliver on the issues that impact our lives. Join our fight to protect the right to vote. Visit StopJimCrow2.com. Paid for by Fair Fight Action.
The Live Eye Camera Network is brought to you by Mountaineer Pest Services. On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Being a first-year head coach is challenging. Doing it during a global pandemic is even harder. Doing it after a tragic loss is something someone should never have to go through. But Westminster girls basketball coach Andrew Spurlock is, and he's leaning on faith and deep-rooted faith and family to shine through the dark times. Go, Kinley! For Westminster girls basketball coach Andrew Spurlock, basketball is a family tradition. Gotta talk! It runs in the Spurlock blood. Andrew is the 5th of 11 kids. His youngest sister, Amy, is a sophomore on the Wildcats. Good, Amy.
We've done it as a family since day one, whether it was my dad coaching me or me coaching my little brothers and sisters. Family and basketball just kind of go hand in hand with our family.
Good cut, go! Andrew's dad, John, coached around the area for years at Curtis Baptist and Wardlaw Academy. Andrew got his first coaching job from his dad, and the two served as a father-son duo at Wardlaw.
Hold that follow through.
John took the head coaching job at Westminster this offseason, and Andrew was set to be his assistant, but just 3 months before the Wildcats' first game, John tragically passed away.
When you go through something like that, you're going to need the support of your family, and thankfully my Westminster family stepped in as well, and they were super loving. They wrapped us up in prayer, and that's why we break every huddle with family on 3, because this is just as much of a family as anything else.
Andrew now facing 2 new challenges: step into his first high school head coaching role,
Push.
and carry on his father's legacy.
He left a legacy of not only a lot of championships and over 200 wins, but he also left a legacy of impacting these student athletes off the court more than on the court.
Through tragedy, Spurlock has relied on faith and family to get through. And as he continues this new chapter of his coaching career, he knows his father's watching over him with a smile.
There's so many things that are bigger than basketball, and I get to use basketball as my avenue to impact lives further down the road.
Westminster currently sits at 3rd in the region standings, just 1 game back of 2nd place with 4 to play. They're back in action Friday at home against John Millage Academy at 6 o'clock. To the college ranks now, our 2 local colleges squaring off. USC Aiken jumped out to an early lead before Miguel Arnold got going for Augusta. The Jags took their first lead just over 8 minutes into the game and never gave it back. Jaquez Kirby led the way with 16 points for the Jags. Augusta wins this one 73-52. The Lady Jags picked up the win tonight as well. November Morton led the way for Augusta with 17 points. Kiera Howard shot a perfect 10 for 10 from the free throw line as Augusta moves to 9-7 on the year. Finally, tonight, it's the year of the Tiger.